Did you know that Matt Walsh did a thing recently? Not just Matt Walsh either.
Hello, Mr. Walsh.
What's up? Got the hat on? Please be patient with me. I'm a Sigma. What's up? Wearing the drippy checkered cardigan? Cardigan? I'm gonna say that's a cardigan.
Nice to see you. I've watched a lot of your content.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
You know, right off the bat, Matt Walsh is like, yes. Got a black on my side. Makes me look very good. No.
I wanted to ask the question, you said before, virtually every culture has its own child into adult initiation, almost all of them before the age of 18. And not only that, 16-year-old girls are mature enough to make their own decisions and even get pregnant and start families as well. And you even said 13-year-olds, if expected in society to act like 23-year-olds, that's what you'll get. So my question is that that one was like the biggest groomer one from Matt Walsh as well. The like, if 13-year-old girls are going to act like adults, then they get treated like adults. That's like giga pedo, like hyper Omicron, Sigma Delta, satellite pedo, nuke orbit, giga pedo shit, you know? Unbelievably sus. Yeah, I think, okay, does anyone remember the, I don't know if they still do their thing, but basically they were a bunch of chat trolls who would try to bait pedos into, like, they would catfish pedos and then give their info to the police, basically. They had their own website. I think they shut down because legal stuff is complicated, but it was basically like, I'm gonna be on, like, AIM, and I'm gonna bait people into being pedos with me, then send their shit to the cops. Does anyone know what they're called? It was something justice. Perverted Justice, I think? To Catch a Predator? No, that was the TV show. I'm talking, it was like a website of people that would do it. I think it was called Perverted Justice. I haven't seen Perverted Justice in literally like 15 years. Isn't that entrapment? No. Entrapment is when you try to bait somebody into doing something that they would not under normal character do anyway. If you're just like in an AIM chat room and you're like, tee-hee, I'm a 13-year-old girl and some guy hits up your DMs, that is not entrapment. Then they were doing that shit anyway. There are tons of things on this, like Omegle and stuff on TikTok streams. Yeah, I think like baiting pedophiles to get them arrested is probably like, I think I speak for everyone when I say that it the highest theoretical form of entertainment, right? You've got like Mozart, and you've got like Prestige Television, and then you've got knowing pedophiles have been arrested after trying to flirt with a chick. It's like that one, the one Russian, not Russian, the one Russian war crime guy. Scott Rittler, yeah. Scott Ritter, yeah, Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter, the kid diddler, has been lured by police officers pretending to be underage girls on the internet twice. He has been arrested for that twice. He tried to hit up and visit the house of like a 12-year-old who actually was a cop, got arrested for it, spent time behind bars, got out, did it a second time. He's literally the meme. He's like, dude, I was talking to this 12-year-old girl online the other day, and she said, dude, get this. She said she's a police officer. How cool is that for someone her age? The reason I'm bringing this up is because that shit Matt Walsh said, the like, if 13-year-old girls are gonna act like mid-20s, we should treat them like they're mid-20s. That shit, I remember that being said in like every Perverted Justice write-up. Like that thing was like the #1 cope that pedophiles tell themselves to justify what they were doing, where they're like, oh, well, they're basically adults anyway. Like that was like the #1 thing they would say. So the fact that Matt Walsh said it, in addition to all the other shit he said, is just so on point. I would imagine, as you've made clear here, I think, are against these types of medical interventions when it comes to transgenderism, trans ideology, however you would call it. Why would you say that these types of people are of the age of, to sip beer, be full-fledged adults, at least should be in the eyes of the legal status, but also, in quote, what you said, I believe on Twitter, that these are children under 18 when referring to trans medical care and services?
Yeah, so much of what you've pulled there is from, I think it's from Media Matters hit piece about a year ago, pulling comments from 10 years before that.
When you were still an adult, those were some pretty weird comments. Yeah, you did say those things. A little weird. you know?
And the point that I was making there is simply a historical point, that back through history, you find that people used to get married a lot younger. And so they didn't have...
Okay, but he was referring to it like aspirationally. He was saying like, yeah, well, you know, this is how it is, right? Like, you can say, yeah, girls used to get married at like 12 or some shit. That's not like ideal. that it's good that they're not now. Well, they are in a lot of cases. Conservatives still protect child marriage in many U.S. states today.
So to all of a sudden act like this phenomenon of girls getting pregnant at a young age that we consider young, 16 or 17, to act like it's a new thing is ridiculous. It's always been that way. Even biologically, and this is me just stating, I'm just right now, I'm going to start by just stating facts. So fact number one, it's not a new phenomenon. Fact number two, in fact, it's a phenomenon that was more common earlier in history, and for
less civilized
6 to
times.
10,000 years of human existence, it was a normal thing. Fact three, girls between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically most fertile.
Yeah.
Okay? That's biological. That's a fact. All right? I'm just stating facts. That's all I'm doing.
have this pregnancy was not sort of the crisis, no matter what age it happened. The pregnancy was not often.
No, pregnancy has often been considered a crisis, especially when it happened to really young girls. Like, little girls would get raped and knocked up and left all the time. I mean, it was like the Middle Ages. There was no social security number. You could just leave. And also they die in pregnancy like all the time. Him defending his point makes the "it was an old clip" argument completely moot. No, he still agrees with it. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not like, oh, that was 10 years ago and I've changed my mind. Like, he's still defending the fundamental, because pedocon theory is a theory the same way gravity is a theory. Thank you.
Considered sort of the crisis that it is now, because people got married younger. They started their journey into adulthood at a younger age. We don't live in that culture anymore. That used to be the culture that we lived in.
Okay.
And we also live in a culture now where we have this kind of extended adolescence that goes beyond the age of 18 and even up to 25 and beyond.
Okay, so just I'm doing some rhetorical reads here. Now, you guys might not know this, but some people, for some reason or another, have accused me at points of being a little sussy myself. As somebody who's had those accusations leveled against him by bad faith actors many times, not to suggest Shark is a bad faith actor here, he is a pedocon. Matt Walsh, not Shark, of course. The response from Matt Walsh here suggests to me like genuine emotional distress. The way he moved back a little bit, he's put one hand on the podium as though to steady himself. I know he's not literally at risk of falling over, but people do lots of little stuff like that when to like indicate their state of mind. People are surprisingly expressive with their emotions. The way he's like trying to explain all of this in an even tone suggests to me that he's actually concerned about the way he responds to these accusations. When it is a gotcha, what Shark is doing here absolutely is a gotcha. So it's very, very funny to me that he's demonstrating this.
Where we treat...
Isn't body language kind of pseudoscience? A lot of it is. People will say like, oh, if the girl folds her legs like this, it means she's mirroring you and she likes you. A lot of that is bullshit. However, there is some stuff that I think is a pretty easy read, in my opinion.
Even adults, like they're essentially children. Which I've talked about as well. So we don't want to treat adults like they're children, but we also have to understand the psychological capacity of actual children, which is why performing a life-altering surgery on a child or giving them, for example, cross-sex hormones, which can happen at the age of 14 or younger, which sterilizes them, what you're making life-altering changes to their body, but they're sacrificing things about themselves that they can't possibly understand. Like, they're making decisions that aren't really decisions because they're not old enough to make them.
I like the implication here that taking puberty blockers or hormones is life-changing, which it can be. Puberty blockers are reversible, but but like getting pregnant at 13 isn't. Like, oh, yeah, it's all these. Did we want to watch the video because that's not what he said at all? No, I remember the video. He's obviously like super charitably repeating the stuff here, but yeah. Fix your glasses. We need 3 for 3.
But they're making decisions for kind of the older version of themselves.
Okay.
So
As opposed to when a young girl gets pregnant, which definitely isn't making it to, as opposed to when you, say, for example, support an abortion ban that would force a 12-year-old girl to continue to bring their rapist's child to term. Definitely not a life-changing decision there, you know?
at the age of 14, I know I'm saying a lot more than you needed, but at the age of 14, the child is making the decision that I'm never going to have kids again in the future. And yeah, at the age of 14, you might think that. When I was 14, I thought that.
Fucking wild that having a child at that age isn't considered to be a big life-changing, irreversible decision, but not having children is. Like the default, the state of affairs, which was already the case, not having children, that in perpetuity is the extreme option, as opposed to having a child, which, what the I feel like if he could go over and like take this back and like redo it or something, he would sound a lot less bad here.
When I was 24, I thought I'd never have kids. When I was 26, I had 2. Now I have 6. So kids at that age are not equipped to make those kinds of decisions.
Okay, but my question was more of, you just now, you called them kids, but were these not your words, or do you change your opinion? Because what I'm confused about is, before you would say things along the lines of these are adults, or should be in the eyes of either culture or society, but now you're saying in this age range of 13 to 16 or 19, in that age range, they're now children. Because I would imagine that giving birth for, female body people,
Yeah, he has said that. He has bemoaned what he referred to as sort of interminable adolescence, He has talked about how, people should be considered adults earlier. And he did, in that rant, talk about, underage girls and their prime fertility years. Because the initial statement is one thing. If you want to point out the fact that there are unironically 30-year-olds who are saying words like adulting and pretending that they're children still, that's one thing, okay? There's a point that can be made there. However, if you then segue that into an argument about how, it used to be back in the good old days when we knew what we were doing, that 14-year-old girls would get pregnant, the prime fertility age, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, slight difference, little...
is a life-altering decision, one possibly even greater since you're bringing a new life into the world than just altering your own. So are these children, are all these adults?
These are children. I mean, under the age of 18 are children, and even though we have this problem of extended adolescence that goes way into adulthood, really your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until you're 25.
Okay. So even in specifically, marriages between these people and giving birth, you would say that's still child pregnancy, and those are children giving, making that decision and giving birth?
Yes, I'm against child pregnancy, if that's your question.
Okay.
From Shark's perspective, there's not really a way that you can get him on the specific statements unless you had the video clips to show, because this is an imbalanced environment. Though Shark was given a lot of time to talk, which is good. But the way that Walsh came across so meek there is really, really, really funny to me. The line of questioning was great. Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Everyone goes into stuff like this hoping epically own, but there is no epically owning in a context like this. It's always what can you get out of them? And I think that was pretty much ideal, really. I wish he'd have followed up with an abortion question. Really? Well, do I have good news for you? Because Shark wasn't the only person who went there that day.
Hey, Matt, I'm an RN from the state of Ohio, and I drove all the way here just so I could ask you a medical question.
ALEC GUNTER, what's up? Let's go!
So I have a question about your stance on puberty blockers for children. Now, you've stated before that puberty blockers are dangerous, and certainly they do carry their risks. However, child pregnancy is far more dangerous for the child and carries risks up to and including death and permanent disability. So why do you believe that a 13-year-old should be forced to give birth to their rapist child?
That was very good. Very direct. And completely true. Not bad faith at all. That is what Matt Walsh believes. That is the mainstream, far-right opinion, which is just total abortion ban, Also, sweet stash, man.
I think that it is ever okay to kill a child.
Okay, so then why do you support a 13-year-old giving birth to their rapist child, which could kill them.
This is
Extremely good and incisive follow-up. Very good. Very good.
this is not about the person who has caused that condition. The person who has caused this situation is the rapist. Now, if you want to kill somebody because of what has happened to this poor child, then I absolutely...
I feel like you're not answering my question.
Well, if you would let me talk, I could answer it.
Okay.
If you want to kill someone in response to I am fully in support of killing the rapist. And so if there is a rapist who has raped a 13-year-old child, as far as I'm concerned, go to trial, convict them that same day, take them out back and hang them, as far as I'm concerned.
So what he's done here, and we see this all the time with conservatives and pedocons especially, is where they will try to displace attention from their vile morality by trying to get an easy win. You see them do this all the time with pedophiles, which is silly because they're all pedophiles, but they will constantly do this where they will nonstop advocate for like monstrous shit, and then like they'll be like, by the way, I think we should kill all pedophiles. By the way, so brave, really taking tough stances on the tough positions, you know? I thought we were having a complicated conversation about your values, but that's, yeah, you know, they do this shit all the time. Did you guys see that huge dub when the Twitter community notes responded to a Ted Nugent tweet? The Ted Nugent tweet there was like an image saying something like, if pedophilia is just sexuality, then a bullet is just metal or something. I don't know, just some stupid, what is it even a response to? And the community notes was like, Ted Nugent has written multiple songs where he professed his desire to have sex with an underage girl. He has written this song where he literally says in the lyrics that he wants to have sex with a 13-year-old girl. Like, it's, you know.
But what I do not think...
Why do you believe that a child...
Because I don't think it's okay to kill a child
then why
intentionally
do you support...
under any circumstance.
Oh, intentionally.
Yes.
Okay.
You're the medical expert.
Sure.
I will say, by the way, the ALEC GUNTER, the fact that you're showing up here with that mustache and with that hat really makes you look like the all-American man right now. Like Matt Walsh his hairline is receding. He's got like this like slicked up hair. He's got a beard and these big millennial glasses, and he's wearing all black and he's wearing formal wear. And you're showing up with a damn trucker hat and a big mustache, speaking confidently, no less. Looks good. Yeah, he looks like the effete liberal, exactly.
Born child, is that a human being or not?
That is a religious question.
It's not a religious question, it's a medical question. How's it a religious question? It's a medical question. What is it if it's not a human being? So you don't know.
No, I do know. It just has human genetics.
So is it a human or not?
Medically speaking...
Is a skin cell a human?
We don't consider it a full-fledged human being, and if we did, it would have something like
what do you mean full-fledged?
So then let me ask you this. Why don't we have conception certificates?
Well, for one...
Ooh, that's a good question. If there really is a legal and moral, like, human stamp that we place on a fertilized egg, then why do we wait until birth to begin the process of legally anointing this individual? Why is a person's first birthday 12 months after their birth? Why don't we do conception day if that's when they started existing?
I don't think it's very hard to know exactly when a conception occurs.
Oh, so then that's a convenient excuse then.
What's that?
That's convenient. It's just convenient that it's...
Yeah, you care so much about the perceived personhood, you know, about a fetus, and yet you're willing to like wait 9 months. You know, yeah, it's just convenient. You know, yeah. Walsh is getting washed here. Pregnancy lasts 9 months, not 12. I know, I said 12 months since birth rather than 12 months since conception. They're eating him alive. Yeah, for sure. I like, so this issue is less about previous, did I say 12 years? I say lots of stuff. This is really good. The line of questioning that Shark ran with is more like, is more associated with like past clips and statements. So it's really tough to hold you to account because it's like, well, how did you said this a decade ago? And this is like a more direct position. So you can hold him on it like right here. It's very, very good.
You know, it's hard to
Well,
figure out.
yes, it would be very inconvenient to
Right.
try to get a certificate for when exactly you conceived.
Okay.
Oh, it's inconvenient. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought we cared about fetuses and fertilized eggs. I thought that was life, but I guess it's inconvenient to try. We'll construct an entire trillions-dollar state apparatus to protect the lives of living humans. But yeah, it's inconvenient. This is what I say, and I've said it many times before. A ton of the people who think that life begins at conception don't actually believe that. They don't. They don't. If they were in a burning building and they could only take one, and one of them was a fully living human baby that's like 2 years old, and there was a petri dish that they knew had been fertilized in vitro with an egg like 2 days ago, the idea that every single conservative who believes that life begins at conception would take that as a 50-50 and would just like 50-50 that, I bet you 99% of conservatives who believe that would run with the baby. And you can say, oh, well, that's just because they're inconsistent doesn't mean that they don't believe it. I say it does. I say that, actually. Yeah, I do. You can't know what they believe. You can only accuse them of inconsistently applying their belief. No, I do know. Actually, I do know. I know exactly what they believe. It was revealed to me in a dream.
Also,
like
a little
a
bit strange, to be honest. I don't want to have to go to the licensing office and say, hey, my wife and I had an experience.
Oh, you don't want to? Oh, you don't want to. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, you don't want to. You don't want to. That's what ALEC GUNTER posted. Hey, Shark ALEC, you guys killed it. Good job. Good job. Oh, wait, there's a part 2. There's a part 2.
13-year-olds giving birth to their child's rapist.
We can't have this.
Their rapist
We
child.
have not. I don't support killing a child.
I thought that ended abruptly.
No, but no, I do not. But I'm
Okay,
asking
so you do support abortion?
No,
or you
you're
don't?
avoiding my question.
Good. Oh, strong. Oh, ALEC.
Do you
I've answered
support?
your question. You haven't answered mine.
You have not answered the question. Yes
Is
or no?
the unborn child
Do
a human
you
being or
support-
not?
I'm not letting you get away from this, man. Do you support?
You are not
a
answering the
child? I asked
Let's try
you
this
the-
again. Let's
Wait,
try this
who's
again.
asking the questions here, man? Come on.
Let's try this again. I do not support, and I do not support.
Matt has both hands to the podium. Now he's holding on for dear life. He's getting rocked backwards by the Sonic, trying to keep from getting blown away.
The direct intentional
Thank you,
murder
Macon
of a
State.
child under any circumstance.
Right, so then
at
you
all.
don't support a 13-year-old child giving birth to their rapist child because that could kill them. It has a very good chance of doing so via hemorrhage, toxemia, all kinds of complications, permanent disability. There are all kinds of complications with that.
I'm going to try this.
Why do you support?
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to. No.
Okay,
Hold on
don't
one
answer
second.
the
One second.
question. I appreciate your time.
No. Come back here.
Why? You're not answering my question.
Oh my God.
Because you're the nurse, you're the medical expert, and you won't even tell us what a human being is. I'm
Well,
starting
you
to get
didn't
concerned.
answer my question.
Like,
Why should
where
I
do you
answer
work, man?
yours?
What
You
is
didn't
it-
answer my question.
It is never
Do
okay
you-
to.
do
It is
you,
never
Matt
okay
Walsh?
to intentionally and directly kill an
very
innocent
simple.
human child. Period. That's my position.
It's
What I'm
very
asking you
simple.
is.
But that's
do you
not answering the
consider-
question,
do
man.
you
Come
consider,
on. We both know that you're dancing
Do
around
you
this. Come
consider?
on.
Do you consider an unborn child?
I'm
to
not
be a
answering
human
that
being
until
or
you
not?
answer my question. You didn't answer it. You didn't answer it. I don't have to answer your question. Well, who's
So-
asking? Are you guys in line for
No,
a question or to be asked a question?
Is this a question factory? You making questions up there? I came here with a question. I thought I was in the question line. I didn't realize I was in the having answering questions line. I'm sorry. There must be some confusion here.
I know you don't. Here's
I'm
what.
just wondering. I'm just wondering.
Okay. Here's what we've
It's okay, man.
established.
Take a minute to think about it. I'll get you the next rally.
Okay. Let's. That was-
Yes, you hear people laughing near the fucking mic. Oh my God. Perfectly handled. Yeah, that was okay. That was fantastic. Perfectly handled. There's no notes. Seriously, no notes. Holy shit. Fuck, that was funny. Good job. Good job. The comment section on this is fuming at ALEC. Oh, I'm sure. Incredible. Yeah, no notes. I've got nothing to say. Great job, you guys. Great job. Can you go tell people to follow me, please? Trying to cloud shark, ALEC. I see how it is.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, sure. Potus AG on Twitter. Get on over there. YouTube, ALEC GUNTER TV. And you know my boy Shark. We've hosted Shark so many times. You guys better know my boy Shark. If you don't know about my boy Shark, then what are you even doing? If you don't know my boy Shark, come on, get real. Get real. Honestly.